Securities. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Kranti.
Thanks, Neha. Thanks for inviting me on your show. It's always my pleasure to share my views with all the viewers of ET Markets.
Well, same here. So let's quickly start with the market mood for today. So Sensex touched the 75K mark for the first time ever. And in fact, Nifty also touched the 22,765 new high. I want to understand why is the market up today? What's happening in the markets?
Yeah, Neha, there is a complete exuberance and euphoria around Indian markets. Uh, Investors across the globe, it can be the overseas investors or the domestic investors, uh, they are they are so much convinced with the India's growth story, especially from the overseas investors. Across the fund managers you interact, any part of the world, they want to look at India and India's growth story. And
Hmm.
This year, Neha, there are nearly 64 countries are going for elections, including our country and also the US. So the main focus is where the policy continuity is there. So
Yeah.
when you check, the consensus view is India gains in the top of that list, where we can see the policy continuity. Even though in US also there is a uncertainty with respect to the policy continuity is concerned, whereas India is a clear case winner in that case. That's where the focus is back on India, and also the given the kind of the domestic setup, the GDP
Hmm.
numbers and all the macro parameters and variants, uh, they are in support of the growth towards the Indian markets. Uh, and Also, if you check the global markets, one thing is still there is uncertainty, the timing of US Fed rate cut, and also the
Hmm.
quantum of cuts that are going to come. But Indian markets, right now, if we are see, the monetary policy is done, and what we can expect is, uh, in the coming monetary policies, if the inflation cools down, we can expect a
Hmm.
clear cut rate cut with respect to Indian markets are concerned, because every time, uh, all the central bankers used to follow Federal Reserve as the main benchmark, as a torchbearer for the monetary policy. Whereas
Right.
before the Federal Reserve, last fortnight, the Bank of Switzerland, they reduced the interest rates. So we have the ECB policies going forward, and if they reduce the interest rates in the coming quarters or coming week, coming months, so
Hmm.
that gives a chance for the Indian markets also take, Indian MPC committee also take a rate cut policy decision. So
Hmm.
that can prompt further growth acceleration. Already the growth has been fine, the credit growth has been, despite of the high interest rate regime also, there is no
Hmm.
slowdown with respect to the credit growth is concerned. So all these factors
Okay.
are adding for the markets to reach all-time high levels. But one thing is, we are in the earning season, so the
Hmm.
results, always stock markets are slaves to the earnings. So
Yeah.
if the market has to sustain at these levels, we need to see how the corporate profits are going to be in the next coming quarters.
All right. So now let's move to the first stock that I've chosen for the day. So the first one is Tata Motors. So as we know that IT and auto stocks are in action today. So I wanted to know what is the outlook on Tata Motors and why is the stock in action today?
Yeah, Neha, all the majority of the all the OEMs, okay, original equipment makers, okay, it can be Maruti, Mahindra and Mahindra, Acer, and coming to Tata Motors, they have been in a very positive path in the past few weeks. The main reason
Hmm.
is the domestic sales has been going up; they are quite firm, and Tata Motors have a inherent strength. They have a strong base with respect to the high end of the market, and also the EV segment. That's where the key
Hmm.
buzz is. So Tata Motors, among the OEMs, they are much ahead in the curve in the E segment is concerned. That's where the clear
Yeah.
buzz is right now, and the number of registrations numbers also going up. So these are all the factors that are leading this segment, especially that's favoring Tata Motors. So investors who are in the medium to long term, definitely they can add Tata Motors at any dip.
All right. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is Infosys. So as I mentioned that IT stocks are also doing good today. So Nifty IT also emerged as the top performing sector today. So what is happening with the IT sector and specifically with Infosys? Why did Infosys gain today and what is the outlook on Infosys?
The main thing, Neha, if you observe the data, the US economy is going strength to strength. And the
Hmm.
last week, the job numbers that came US, it shows the inherent strength in the US economy. So as we
Correct.
are entering into the earnings season, the valuations for majority of these bellwether IT companies looks attractive. They are nearer to
Hmm.
their long-term averages. So if any strong setup that comes from US economy, that can boost
Hmm.
the earnings of the IT companies in the coming quarters. That's where the focus is coming back, and the relative valuations on a longer term basis for the IT stocks looks attractive. That the
Hmm.
key reason we can see some kind of buying interest is emerging with respect to Infosys is concerned on a medium to long term perspective.
All right. Okay. The next stock I've picked is Axis Bank. So Axis Bank is also in the news today. Now this is because Bain Capital is ready to sell its about 1.08% stake of Axis Bank. So what is the outlook on Axis Bank right now for short to medium and medium to long term?
One thing is, Neha, we are quite optimistic with respect to the banking sector in India is concerned. They are on a
Hmm.
right track, and it's a very right franchising model. Axis Bank in the past couple of quarters back, they bought the retail assets, retail business of
Hmm.
Citibank, which adds a further value add to their business on a longer term perspective. It's a high end premium HNI clients that those are added to Axis Bank and Citibank. They had a long franchisee because of their
Hmm.
global plan, strategic plan. They exited the retail banking in India. That
Hmm.
adds a greater value in the longer term for Axis Bank. So any weakness for Axis Bank, one can add the stock on a medium to longer term perspective. One overhang on these stocks is the much awaited rate cut has been hampering the sentiment on the banking stocks in the medium to short term. Uh, but
Hmm.
but what we can expect in the banking and financial services, we're going to witness a
Hmm.
rally in the coming quarters, and we can expect a decent set of numbers with respect to the bank results are concerned. So investors with a medium to long term horizon, definitely they can add banking and financial services stocks on a medium to longer term perspective.
All right. So the last stock I've picked today is Gland Pharma. So Gland Pharma is actually down 6% today. So what is the outlook on Gland Pharma and about pharma sector in general also?
We are quite neutral with respect to the pharma sector is concerned, Neha. But
Okay.
we need to wait and watch how the US elections are going to be, because a lot of companies have the US FDA approvals and US FDA inspections. All these things are triggering around the pharma stocks are concerned. But given the
Hmm.
kind of valuations, look at the pharma stocks. Okay, they are on a relative valuation basis. Pharma stocks looks attractive. So if the investors have a very long term horizon, definitely one can start adding pharma stocks on a medium to longer term perspective. Coming to the Gland Pharma as a stock, of course, there are a couple of block deals are lined up with respect to Gland Pharma is concerned. The stock has
Hmm.
corrected. If you see the chart of the stock, almost all the stock got corrected from a level of 4,000 to to it touched a low below 1,000 also sometime back, a couple of quarters back. But the results are extremely important for Gland Pharma for the ongoing quarter. If
Okay.
one need to gauge the results and take a decision while taking any fresh position in Gland Pharma in the medium to short term.
All right. So moving towards the last leg of our session, I want to understand, are there any stocks that investors can watch out for this week?
Yeah, coming to the stocks which has to be there on watch list, one need to keep the large cap stocks at this point of time. One can keep stocks like HDFC Bank, which have been helping the market to sustain Reliance Industries
Hmm.
and L&T, and there is so much buzz in again back in defense stocks. So these
Hmm.
are the stocks one can keep on their watch list. Names like Cochin Shipyard, we keep on discussing. The company has been getting fresh orders, so one can keep these stocks on their radar. And also, crude oil is extremely crucial. It has been hovering around, just came below $90 at this point of time. This also one
Hmm.
of the parameter one need to keep it on their watch list in a medium to short in a short term perspective.
Okay, all right. So, one last thing I would like to discuss with you is that what are the levels to watch out for this week, and also, um, can we are we approaching a correction period in markets? Like, obviously, we are near the all-time highs, but is there any chance that this could just fizzle out and not work out for the investors?
Neha, see, markets have been right now at a strong note at 22,500.
Hmm.
So, if the market could able to hold on to the level of 22,500, okay, we can
Hmm.
see market to take this as a support level at this point of time. We are entering into the
Okay.
earnings season, so the corporate results are extremely crucial to sustain at these levels. If there are any kind of negative surprises, we may drift down again, because if you observe the trend of the market, because since we interact on a weekly basis regularly, see
Hmm.
the nature of the market. Neha, market has been extreme in nature, in terms of the positive news and also in terms
Hmm.
of the negative news are concerned. So if there are any positive news is coming, because of the sentiment is positive, and given the kind of strong liquidity flows market have been observing every day, so there are
Hmm.
sharp rallies we are witnessing. At the same point of time, any kind of negative news that's hitting the market, we are witnessing a sharp declines. But one thing is, the correction period, the negative period is very short at this point of time. There are
Okay.
sharp corrections are coming, but these corrections are for a very shorter period. What we are witnessing is a strong rebound is emerging in the market immediately.
All right. So let's quickly take some questions from the audience and then we'll close our session for today. The first query I'm picking is from Anuj. He's asking about your views on GAIL and UPL for short to medium term.
Gale and
UPL.
UPL. Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
the Gale as a stock has been, um, it is in a positive zone, but right now the stock has been around 205 right now. Uh,
Hmm.
the stock has rallied from a level of 140 in the last couple of quarters. Uh, the one can keep he can hold on to Gale for a medium to longer term perspective, but always he need to keep a watch on the crude oil prices and gas prices, how it's going to be. But the stock is going at a very strong note at this point of time, both technically as well as fundamentally. He can hold on
Hmm.
to Gale on a medium to short term perspective.
All right. Next query is by Vivek. He's asking outlook on Glen Pharma and Lupin for short term holding.
Uh, I tend to avoid the pharma stocks in a medium to short term perspective.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
probably the results are extremely crucial for both the companies. But for a medium to longer term perspective, definitely we'll add these companies.
All right. Harish Reddy is asking views on Cochin Shipyard. Shall I book profits on it, or is there still steam in it?
I don't know what's his entry level and what kind of profit he made, because the
Hmm.
stock was just hovering around just a year back, 1.5 year back. It was at 200 rupees. If he is sitting on that fabulous profits, okay, always
Hmm.
it is advisable to take the capital. Okay, if you make a multiplier kind of return, because
Hmm.
capital is always safe. But what I can say is there are some more legs to this rally. The stock is in a momentum zone, and it is backed by strong visibility of the earnings. So he can hold on to the stock, but we don't know what kind of multiplier he made. If he made, okay, taking back always capital, if one become 1x, okay, taking back, there is nothing wrong taking back the capital, because the remaining is bonus.
Yeah. All right. So, another query we have is from Arun. He is asking, do you see potential in Kalyan Jewelers in the long run?
Definitely, Kalan Jewelers were after the listing. Okay, the stock was hovering around 110, 115, and from there, the strong rally
Hmm.
what we witnessed in Kalan Jewelers is quite strong. And at the same point of time, we also need to discuss the rally in
Hmm.
gold. Neha,
Yeah.
last 7 days, gold has been rallying in a vertical way, strong rally, and gold is trending at an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
So it may have some kind of impact on the sales in the medium to short term. But
Hmm.
Kalan Jewelry's strong franchisee, strong business model, he can hold on.
All right. Okay. So, Sandy is asking, hello, sir. Please advise entry in PFC.
Yeah, see, the all the power stocks have been quite strong at this point of time, and the stock, the PFC also one of the key multiplier. Probably at this price range of 400, he can make a entry, but he can make the entry in a very staggered manner at this point of time. Look at the results, and market has been giving an opportunity. Sometimes, whenever there is a weakness, one can add the stocks. In a medium to longer term perspective.
All right. So, we have Sarath ready. He's asking which are the best defense stocks to enter today. So today might be a very short term to discuss, but maybe we can discuss about defense stocks in general. And I think you really like defense stocks personally also. So let's talk about defense stocks
Uh, Neha, you made a point. Personally, you like defense stocks. The main reason,
from a
uh,
fundamental perspective.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So the
My
main
bad,
reason,
my bad.
yeah, no, no, no. You are most welcome. Okay, to make that comment. But I'm telling you the reason for this thing. Okay, if you
Hmm.
go back 10, 15 years back, we don't have any defense stock or defense sector in India. It is a new
Yeah,
age emerging sector towards the Indian markets. Probably 10, 15 years back, if I want to buy any defense stock, nothing. There is no proxy. Searching for defense stocks is quite difficult. Right now, we
yeah,
have a whole host of defense stocks, because the reason is the government want to focus on the Atmanirbhar Bharat, sourcing of
hmm.
defense equipment and defense uh, 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 aviation, and many kind of defense sourcing. The many defense equipments are concerned from India. That's where the main trigger is coming for these companies like HAL, Garden Reach, Mazgan Dockyard. There are whole list of companies, and backed by many companies for these defense equipment makers. So
Hmm.
for a general perspective, one can add these stocks on a for a longer term purpose, on a very staggered manner. One can add like a systematic SIP, like a plan. They can plan in such a way like HAL. One can add Cochin Shipyard, Garden Reach, Mazgan Dockyard. These are the strong business models. Most of them are PSUs. They have a strong earning order book visibility. One can add in the private sector also, but it can be for a very stock specific. One can add L&T also. L&T also has been entering into defense pockets on a
Hmm.
big way. So one can add L&T also on a medium to longer term perspective.
All right. Okay. So I'll just take one or two more queries and then we'll close. One query is by Balkar Sidhu and Remy. Both are asking about views on EPL.
Uh, which stock, Neha?
EPL.
SL Propac Limited?
I'm not sure they both have written EPL only. I think it's
Yeah, see, EPL
the
SL
same.
Propac
Yeah.
Limited, it is owned by Blackstone. Okay, this company has came from the promoters of G Promoters too. It came into the Blackstone is the holding company, and there are
Hmm.
news about stake sale about this company. If the investor have a medium to longer term perspective, he can add this company uh, in their portfolio.
All right. Okay. So another query we have is from Dilip. He's asking your views on Wipro, please, from long-term perspective, that is 3 years.
Yeah, probably he have a lot of patience, but given the kind of strong fundamentals and the new CEO commentary is concerned, he can
Hmm.
add Wipro in a staggered manner. There is no hurry to jump and buy the stock at this point of time. Just
Hmm.
wait and see the results, how the improvement in the results that is taking place. So for a 3 years perspective, one can add Wipro for a medium to longer term perspective.
All right. So I have a query from Harish. He's asking about should he hold HDFC Bank or not?
If he is a long-term investor, definitely it's the stock to hold on. Probably there might be some kind of aberrations in the medium to short term. We need to see how the results are going to be. Most probably results are going to be coming on a very strong note. So
Hmm.
if he is a long-term investor, definitely he can hold on to HDFC Bank. Of course, the problem, Neha, it can be a common problem for everyone. Everybody were delighted to have HDFC Bank in their portfolio. But nowadays,
Yeah.
because of the run up, what we are witnessing in these mid and small cap companies and other companies, since the stock has been not participating, some kind of fatigue investors might face. But okay, majority of the wealth creators, they test their patience before giving any kind of good results.
Absolutely. Okay, so last query I'm picking. Okay, so I am addressing one or two queries. Varun is asking about can you share your POV on best upcoming factors? So anything related to market, Varun, we have already discussed in the beginning of the stream. So you can watch this later and you'll get all your answers. Siva is asking about Infosys. It has already been discussed in depth with Mr. Kranti in the live stream. So you can watch the live stream from the beginning. And last one I'm picking is by Kalpana Kohli. She's asking views on Safari and Schneider.
Yeah. Uh, Coming to Schneider, the sector is in a completely uptrend and momentum trend, Neha, as we discussed about stocks like PFCs also. And all the power stocks have been rallying in the past 1 year because of the uptrend in the power sector. Schneider
Hmm.
electric infra, they mainly focused on the smart cities and the power infrastructure is concerned. The stock witnessed a
Yeah.
fabulous rally. Just 3 years back, the stock was hovering around 120, 150. That was the range, and the stock try to try to find a strong resistance zone at 200, 225 level, and the stock was in a consolidation phase for more than 2 3 years. And from there, as the power sector turns positive, the stock is currently uh, touched a level of 800 levels. So in past 3 4 years, the stock has given a returns more than 5 times. It is 500%. So people who want to enter into the at this point of time. One can buy on a very staggered manner. The sector is in a positive trend, and this positivity is going to continue uh, with respect to Schneider Infra is concerned. Yeah.
All right. So we are done with the queries from the audience for today, and with that, we have reached the end of our segment as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Kranti, for joining us today on ET Markets live stream.
Thank you, Neha. It's always my pleasure to share my views with all the viewers of ET Markets. Thank you.